Most people think that AAA stylized graphic is complicated, that you need advanced shaders, hyper-detailed textures, complex lighting, and years of experience just to make something professional. What actually makes the difference is clarity, clear shapes, controlled colors, intentional lighting, and detailed use in a clever way. That's my personal vision on stylized worlds, and here on the channel you can find a lot of tutorials. When I build a stylized environment, I don't work with complexity. I start with the ground, because if the ground doesn't work, nothing on top of it will. Instead of modeling individual blades of grass, I focus on readable clumps, big, simple messes. I care about the silhouette first, then I add a soft gradient from bottom to top to give it volume. And I slightly push the saturation on top, so it separates from the terrain. That alone already makes things intentional and not random. Once the ground is solid, I move upward. Trees and bushes are where the personality really starts to show. And this is where usually people overcomplicate things. They think about leaves. I think about volumes, large, clear shapes that are easy to read. The main key is fluffiness. I let the lighting define the form, slightly cooler shadows, warmer highlights, nothing extreme. If the tree works as a clean silhouette, it works in the scene. And then there is the sky, which is honestly half of the work. It's technically easy to create, but much harder to make it visually powerful. A vertical gradient is the key for a strong beginning. Deeper and more saturated at the top, lighter toward the horizon. That alone creates atmosphere. The clouds do not need heavy textures. They need strong, soft shapes, controlled light direction, and shadow underneath to feel grounded. If the sky works, the whole environment suddenly feels more intentional. Rocks give structures and weight. Again, simple shapes. Clear planes reaching to a consistent light direction, maybe a controlled lighting gradient, but no noisy details. And instead of sculpting 15 different rocks, I build 2 or 3 of them and use it intelligently. Finally, I refine the vegetation. Not by adding complexity, but by respecting realistic vegetation silhouettes. Just like films of Studio Ghibli teach us, natural simplicity is powerful. Vegetation do not need to be hyper-realistic. Controlled colors, simple lighting, intentional detail. Reduce the noise. Let the design breathe. When every shape has purpose, the scene speaks for itself.